Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wake the hell up, turn the volume way up, because we got today's episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. I'm Matt Cobold, joined by Max Faulkner. Max, it's Tuesday morning, brother. How you doing?
Tuesday morning. I love morning pods, Cole Breezy. I love waking up and getting these things in. Going pretty good over here, Cole Breezy. Sadly, I'm a little under the weather. I'll be honest. There's something moving around. I blame it on the sixth
down there.
I blame it on the sixth graders that I'm coaching. All right, I know for a fact they gave it to me, so I've been sick for the past couple of days. I think I'm up. I think I'm on. What do they call it? I'm on the mend. Whatever. I'm on meds right now, so I'm going to be a little bit slower. All right, today.
Sounds like they're kicking in, buddy. Sounds like they're kicking in.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. My body is weak, but
hey,
I'm still here, Cole Breezy.
But
still
you're
here.
baby.
I gotta be here. I can't wait to talk some sports with you, Cole Breezy. What's going on over there?
You know, it's been a couple years since you've been in the schools, so probably your immune system got a little weak. So now, getting you. But not much over here, brother. Tuesday morning, working here in a little bit, but did a row class this morning, a 45-minute row class. That was nice. Good stretching after, and feeling good. Ready to talk some fantasy football, ready to talk some college basketball.
Yeah.
Because the main reason that we're doing this pod in the morning is because we got the Champions Classic. We got the Champions Classic tonight. Kentucky, Duke, Kansas, Michigan State. So we're talking about that at the end. Mm-hmm. We got a performance in college basketball we got to talk about. We got a little fantasy football to talk about. But anything else from you, Max, before we get into today's episode?
No, Cole Breezy. That's it.
Those meds are kicking in, I think, right now.
They definitely are. It's not fun. I'm not having fun, just so we know.
Let's get into this week's fantasy football talk, Max. We got our Hades three-headed dog to talk about. Haven't had this for a couple of weeks. When a player scores 3 tutties, a flex-worthy player, not a quarterback. We had a big performance on Thursday night. Last Thursday, Cincinnati Bengal, Jamar Chase at Baltimore. He had 11 catches for 264 yards and 3 tutties. I got 5 nuggets here, Max, so jump in wherever you feel like. Jamar Chase in full PPR fantasy leagues had 55.4 fantasy points. That's more than anyone this season. He also holds the 4th highest on the season with 41.3 fantasy points back in week 5. So he's got 2 of the 4 biggest performances on the year. Big playability here from his boy Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase, he becomes the second player in NFL history with 175 receiving yards in 2 games versus the same opponent in a season.
Oh, wow.
The last time, earlier when they played Baltimore, he went off against them too. His 457 receiving yards in the 2 games this season against the Ravens is the most by any player against any team in the same season in NFL history. Jamar Chase now has 12 60-yard touchdowns in his career. That's more than any player under the age of 25 in NFL history. How many times am I saying NFL history here, Max?
A lot.
Last one here. Only player, Jamar Chase, in NFL history to log 2 games of at least 260 receiving yards and 2 scores in a career. Max, what do you think about Jamar Chase? And is he the best receiver in football right now?
He's definitely making that case. He's back, everybody. I know last season he had a load. I mean, he still had a good season last year, but we would say he had a down season, right?
Joe Burrow was hurt.
Joe Burrow was hurt, yeah, obviously. But if you were smart enough to keep him, like Jack did, Jack kept him. I know he probably was thinking about it. I don't know. He might have been. But anyway, Cole Breezy, I know last year at our second annual Fantasy Football Award show, we gave the Fantasy Player of the Year was Christian McCaffrey. Okay, this year I think it could be Jamar Chase. He is definitely in the running for the best fantasy football player in the league right now.
Yeah, I think you're right, Max. He's wide receiver 1 on the year, no doubt about it. He leads the NFL with 66 receptions. He leads the NFL with 981 receiving yards, and he leads the NFL with 10 receiving touchdowns. Wow. No one else has more than 7. Can he get the triple crown? Can he get the triple crown, Max? Can he lead the league in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns?
Yeah, I think he can, especially because some of the big dogs that we usually talk about, Tyreek Hill, Tua has been out a long time, and now that he's back, it's slow. It's just a slow offense.
Sloppy.
Dak Prescott's out, so CeeDee Lamb's numbers are going to go down.
Pour
Sadly,
that
I'm
baby
really
off the bone.
oh
Pour that baby off the bone.
yeah, put a little barbecue sauce on that too.
Woo.
I'm I'm upset about it, obviously, but hopefully they can figure out with CD Lamb. But that's another example. Obviously, there's other examples out there as well. But Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow are looking healthy, and they look great. So, yes, Cobrizi, I think he can get the Triple Crown this year.
I think he can too. Last guy to do it, of course, was Cooper Kupp back in 2021. Before that, it was a long time before somebody did it. So I can see Jamar Chase definitely do it. Cincinnati, they get in the playoffs, Max? Cincinnati getting a wild card?
They look good. Okay, they're starting to heat up. But I will say, Cobrizi, this is the question that I have for you real quick before I answer that question. How do you feel about them going for a 2-point conversion when they had a chance to tie it and potentially bring it to overtime? Do you think that was a smart play considering that they were at the time 4-5? You know, like I mean, yeah, you get the 2-point conversion. Yeah, you probably win. Probably. Maybe. What do you think?
Their defense hadn't stopped the Ravens, and I don't know how many possessions. Ravens scored, I don't know how many possessions in a row. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it putting your balls on the table. You're on the road. You really don't want to go to overtime with them. They've got the momentum. You were up huge. You were up huge in the first half. Baltimore already has the momentum. You haven't stopped them in a while. I don't mind putting your balls on the table. But yeah, now you're 4-6. Now you're 4-6, and you got to go on a run here.
Yeah.
Max, let's get into our gooses.
Oh my goodness!
Our big fat, sweaty, smelly gooses. We haven't talked about it for a little bit. Max, our 13-week goose streak dating back to last season. It was snapped last week. 13 straight weeks in our league. We had a player or a defense that was started in our league give you 0 or negative points. 13 weeks straight. It was snapped last week, going back to last year. But this week, week 10, got 3 to talk about here, Max. Nick Smith with his first goose of the season. Our buddy Nick Smith, the teddy bear hoe from last year. His kicker, Denver Bronco, Will Lutz, at Kansas City this week. Now, we all saw it. We all saw how it went down. The Chiefs-Broncos game-winning field goal attempt, 35 yards. It was a chip shot, money in the bank. Chiefs block it. Will Lutz, he missed his other attempt, and damn it, he gave Nick Smith a goose. He's the number 11 kicker on the season. Plays Atlanta, at Las Vegas, and Cleveland the next 3 weeks. Max, what do you think about that game-winning field goal being blocked, and are you dropping Will Lutz after this goose?
I don't know enough about Will Lutz's stats to actually determine that, but
kicker 11 on the season.
Yeah, I don't think you had to go that far. If there's another kicker out there that's available, then yeah, sure. But I don't think you have to go that far. When you get blocked by a good defense, by the way, the Chiefs have a good defense. So, what are you going to do? Nothing you can do about it. I mean, I would be upset for sure, though. I would definitely be upset.
Yeah. Chiefs keep finding ways to win games, man. They keep finding ways. What is it, like a 15-game win streak? I don't know. Dating back to last year.
Something like that, yeah.
Talking about a dynasty here soon. Another fat goose in our league was our boy Zach. He started the Jets defense at Arizona. That was I hope you didn't watch that game because that baby was sloppy. But the Jets defense this weekend gave Zach negative 3 points. That's their third game with negative points this year, and Zach's been starting them all year long. The Jets were the third defense drafted in our league, Max. So he put a priority on them. They're ranked 16th. They're ranked 16th defense. They played the Colts. They have a bye week, and then Seattle. Are you dropping them, or are you staying with the Jets after 3 gooses this year?
Oh, my gosh. Who are they playing this week? I'm sorry?
Colts.
Yeah, that's a decent team to put them up against. A decent team to put them up against.
It is.
Yeah, I know, but 3 gooses, oh, man, that makes you really nervous. I'd be looking for another option. I'd definitely be looking for I can't believe it. There's plenty of players out there that aren't doing what everyone was expecting them to. Plenty of, obviously, defenses. Defenses are like that every year, So, but the Jets are pretty reliable. They're usually reliable.
I thought that with the Ravens myself, and they goosed me 3 times also, so I had to drop them. And Zach, he's got 3 gooses on the year, all by the Jets. So I think Zach might need to drop him. Got a quote here from Zach right before the pod came in. He said on the Jets, quote, "A lot of talent, but defensive schemes suck," end quote. So that's what Zach thinks. I don't know if he's going to drop him or not. Last goose we got to talk about here. My wife, Kelly, in the ass beating against you, Max, a 40-point beatdown. She got goosed by her defense. She's now got 3 gooses on the year. She picked up the Falcons defense. They gave her -1 against the New Orleans Saints. That was a surprise win for the Saints, I think, in my opinion. But she benched Houston, who had 5 picks against Jared Goff.
Yeah, whoa.
Didn't matter in the matchup. The Falcons defense have scored more than 4 points once the entire season. They're ranked 27th, second goose on the season. Definitely have to drop the Falcons defense if you have them. Any discussion about the Falcons D losing in New Orleans?
No, definitely not. That's it.
Let's talk some college basketball, Max. As you see, I'm wearing this Kansas hat. You're wearing that Purdue hat over there. Let's wait a little bit on that Champions Classic preview. Let's save that for the end. Nobody get greedy on us because we got a big performance to talk about. The biggest performance this season. Ryan Kalkbrenner of the Creighton Blue Jays, the big man in the Big East. Last Wednesday versus UT Rio Grande Grand Valley. UT Rio Grande Valley, another cupcake. We talked about it. There's a lot of ranked teams playing cupcakes. This was a cupcake last week. Ryan Kalkbrenner in this game last Wednesday had 49 points.
Whoa.
On 20 of 22 shooting.
Ooh.
He missed 2 shots. 2 of 2 from 3, 7 of 8 from the line. 11 boards.
Hey, he did it. He broke. He got the double.
Averaging 7.5 for a couple seasons. Let's get up there 9 or 10. Ryan,
Yeah,
come on.
come on.
He had 2 assists and 3 blocks in this game. Those 20 field goals that he made is a school record for Creighton for most of the game. The 49 points is second most in Creighton Blue Jay program history. Second most. And Ryan Kalkbrenner is the first Division I player with at least 20 made field goals on 90% shooting since my guy Bill Walton at the 1970 National Championship game. Max, what do you think about this 49-point performance, only missing 2 shots for Ryan Kalkbrenner?
Unreal. That's unbelievable. For this guy to be putting up 22 shots in a game is also unreal. I think, again, that goes to show you where the offense is going this year. They're going to use Ryan Kalkbrenner a lot more in that offensive game. It's exciting. I'm glad, once again, he got 11 rebounds. Get more. Go get more, man. Get 15. More putbacks, more putback dunks, things like that. Let's go. And then we're going to be talking about him as a first team All-American compared to, I think he was on our second team, if I'm not mistaken, Cobras.
Well, Max, you were a little disrespectful last week. I had him on my first. I had him on my second.
Okay. All right.
That leads me to my next discussion here. Is he the Big East player of the year? Because I'm gonna put my balls on the table and say, yeah, he is. He is my only Big East player on my first team All-American list. I think Ryan Kalkbrenner, he's going for a 4th straight Big East Defensive Player of the Year. He could be the National Defensive Player of the Year. I think he's going to be the Big East Player of the Year. What are you thinking? Who else could be up there for that running?
Yeah, there's not many names that come to mind, to be perfectly honest. Kalkbrenner is obviously the big name. Maybe Cam Jones from Marquette. He's going to have to make a big step up here.
He's going to average a lot of points.
Anyone from St. John's that we know of? That
I had Kaderi Richmond on my second team All-American list,
right.
The transfer from Seton Hall. So I'll throw him in the mix. And don't forget your guy that you had on first team from UConn.
Oh, that's right. I forgot his name already.
Alex Carabin. Carabin, 2-time national champ. I'll throw those 3 names in there with him, but I'm going Ryan Kalkbrenner for Big East Player of the Year this year. You going to agree or go somebody else?
Ooh, now that I'm thinking about it, it's definitely going to be between Carabin and Kalkbrenner. Okay, Carabin and Kalkbrenner. I'll go Carabin. I'll go Carabin. Let's go Carabin, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, he had 7 blocks in a game already, Carabin. So that's impressive. These 49 points, lastly here for Ryan Kalkbrenner, that is the 5th most points by any Big East player in any game ever. You don't see 49-point games in college, Max.
Yeah, that's crazy. Good game. Good for Kalkbrenner. Hell yeah.
Let's get into our Champions Classic preview. The reason we're doing this podcast in the morning, so we can get this baby out before the games. This 4-team classic between Kansas, Michigan State, Duke, and Kentucky started back in 2011. Let's not forget, Max, the 2014 Classic in Indianapolis. You and I went there.
Yeah, awesome.
You left the keys in the Uber, had to call the guy, had to come back. It was pretty sloppy, but
It
that
was
was
a
a great
mess. It was
time.
a mess.
That was that big team for Kentucky with Big Cat and Devin Booker. They smacked my Jayhawks 72 to 40. 72 to 40 beatdown in that game that we saw. This year, the Classic is at State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh,
Max, let's get into a preview here. This is going to be our first game picks of the year that we're making for college basketball. 4:30 Mountain Time on ESPN. All these teams are undefeated. All these teams are 2-0. We got the Spartans of Michigan State taking on my Jayhawks, the #1 team in the nation. We talked about Kansas a lot last week. Final Four and national championship pick for both of us, if I'm not mistaken, Max.
mm-hmm.
Kansas, they returned their big three. We all know about it. Hunter Dickinson, DeJuan Harris, KJ Adams. Kansas has the third-ranked transfer class, according to 247 Sports. Rylan Griffin comes over from Alabama, shooting the three. We got Zeke Mayo coming from the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State, Summit League Player of the Year last year. And A.J. Storr, second-team All-Big Ten, almost 17 a game from Wisconsin last year. That's a huge transfer class, Max. That's a huge transfer class.
Definitely.
And I love Mr. Indiana, Flory Badunga, the 14th-ranked recruit. Through these two games, he's got 21 points, 13 boards, and 3 blocks, only missed one shot.
Wow.
Backing up Big Dick. First two games, played Howard, beat him by 30, 87 to 57. And then on Friday night, Max, did you watch that UNC game?
No.
That was a good one. That was
Missed
a good
it.
one. Jayhawks prevailed in Allen Fieldhouse, 92 to 89 over the Tar Heels, a blue blood battle. Kansas shot 59% in the first half and was up 51 to 31 at halftime. So UNC really came back in that second half.
Mm-hmm.
A win tonight, Max, for Bill Self. That would be 591 wins at Kansas. That would pass Fog Allen for the most in Kansas program history. Any thoughts on these Jayhawks?
Jayhawks look really good. Great win against UNC. The reason I missed the Breezy because my Purdue Boilers were on. Sorry,
Yeah.
I know that was a better game, but I
No
got
double scrappy?
No double scrappy. No double scrappy. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Didn't have the TVs that night. So, yeah, this is going to be an awesome game with Kansas and Michigan State. What are you going to get a breakdown on Michigan State in a second?
Yep.
Or before? Okay, yeah. That's all I got. Kansas looks great start. Great start.
The Spartans of Michigan State, of course, led by Tom Izzo, top 5, top 3 coach in the game, no doubt about it. They lose their 3 leading scorers, Tyson Walker, Malik Hall, and AJ Hogard all leave. Also lost starting center Matty Sissoko and 6th-man Trey Holloman, so lost a lot. Their only returning starter is senior Jaden Akins, 10.5 points and 4 boards last year. They bring in the 16th ranked recruiting class, according to 247 Sports, led by Jace Richardson. Does that last name ring a bell for you for Michigan State? Richardson?
Jason Richardson?
Yep, this is his son.
Figured.
He was on the 2000 national championship team, played many years in the NBA. So this is his son coming in. Michigan State, first game beat Monmouth, 81 to 57. Then Niagara, 96 to 60. Got good size, Max. Michigan State always has multiple big men off the bench coming in, but I don't think they have a lot of talent. They don't have the guys to get up and down with Kansas. No doubt about it. I'm taking the spread on Kansas, 6.5. No doubt about it. I got my Jayhawks, of course, over Michigan State. Are you going to surprise us and take Michigan State and give us your thoughts on the Spartans this year?
I think the Spartans are underrated. Okay, I think Akins is really good. All right, Kohler's already averaging over 10 rebounds per game. Okay, you know that Michigan State. This is how they play. Okay, they usually play some really tough defense, and then they basically get it and go. You're right, though. I do have Kansas taking down Michigan State. But one thing that I'll say about Michigan State this year that's a little bit different is I'm noticing that they're averaging 46.5 rebounds. Whoa. Can they keep that up? Obviously. I know they played the cupcake games. Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say.
Sure. But, it sounds like right now they're boxing out and going after the ball. Okay, so it's a good start for them. This is going to be a really good game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think that this could go to the last 2 minutes. Best coaches going up against each other. It's going to be a really fun game. And I wouldn't be surprised if it went the other way, Cole Breezy. I know you don't want to hear that, but Kansas by far has the better team.
I'm going to go Jayhawks by 9. I'm going to go Jayhawks by 9 tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Monmouth and Niagara. Michigan State's going to rebound. We know that. But Kansas, they had a great tune-up with North Carolina last week. That's going to pay dividends here. Definitely. Both of us are on the Jayhawks. National championship picks. Are we ever going to go against the Jayhawks? I don't know. I don't know on a neutral. On a neutral. Maybe on the road we will.
Yeah, Houston, Iowa State, maybe
Baylor,
Baylor. Yeah, yeah.
Arizona.
Oh, well,
Big
wait, is
12.
Arizona? Hold on. Is Arizona in the Big 12
Yes.
now? Okay,
Yes, sir.
forgot about that. Yeah, new
Yeah.
season, everybody.
Yeah.
UCLA, USC is in the Big
Yep.
10. It's yeah,
It
gosh.
was Arizona, Arizona State, Colorado Buffs, and Utah joined the Big 12.
Oh
So,
wow, Colorado
yeah,
too. They're gonna take a step
Buffs.
back this year, but
My Jayhawks are coming out here in I think February, early
nice.
February. So
Snag
it's
those tickets now. Snag.
too much right now. Too much right
Oh
now.
yeah.
Yeah. The other game tonight in the Champions Classic, the doubleheader. And let's not forget, we got a little half hour in between to do the college football rankings. It's the second week for the rankings, so let's not sleep on that in between games. But the second game, 7 o'clock Mountain Time on ESPN. The number 6 ranked Duke Blue Devils are taking on the 19th ranked Kentucky Wildcats.
Oh yeah.
Let's look at Duke first here, Max. Kyle, Soft Serve Cream, Filipowski, and Jared McCain. They both were first round picks. They're not there anymore. Jeremy Roach, the point guard, he goes to Baylor. Mark Mitchell on the wing, he goes to Missouri. So the only returning starter for Duke is junior Tyrese Proctor. 10.5 points, 3 boards, 3.5 assists last year. But of course, Max, they bring in the number 1 recruiting class. Number 1 recruiting class led by the big dog, Cooper Flag. Con Kneppel, one of the better names. He's looking like a better he's looking like a pretty damn good scorer.
Yeah.
And then Kaman Maluach, who was on the South Sudan team that played the U.S. in the Olympics. So he's a freshman on this team. Definitely a young team, as always, at Duke. 22nd ranked transfer class, according to 247sports.com, headlined by Sion James, I think Sion James, and your guy Mason Gillis came over from Purdue.
I was going to bring that up. Man, he betrayed us. He said, peace out. I'm going to go win a championship.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
No, I love Mason Gillis. Yeah, do what you got to
Definitely.
do, man. I got no problem with it.
Tough player. Tough player.
Plays hard defense, man.
2 cupcakes to open up for the Duke Blue Devils. They played Maine 96-62, and they played Army 100-58. Max, what do you think about the Duke Blue Devils, this recruiting class? I know you got them in the Final Four, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, I do. Okay, I'm looking at these stats, right? I mean, obviously, it's 2 games. They're averaging 98 points per game. That's going to go down a little bit in the ACC, 45 rebounds per game as well. But they have some rare talent, Can't wait to see this game tonight against Kentucky, so they can have a little bit more of a competition game, right? A little more competitiveness. But this is a championship caliber team, Go Breezy. That's all I got to say.
I'm with you. Con Kneppel, he might lead Duke in scoring. This Duke can really score the ball. Let's look at the Wildcats of Kentucky. Whole new team here, Max. A whole new era for Big Blue Nation. John Calipari leaves after 14 years. 14 years. He leaves for Arkansas. Let's not forget, he had 4 Final Fours in his first 5 seasons with Kentucky. 4 Final Fours in his first 5 seasons, but then never got back. Never got back there. Mark Pope. Alma mater was Kentucky. He comes in from BYU, the Mormon. Completely new roster, Max. They don't return 1 scholarship player. Not 1 scholarship player returns. Wow. Completely new roster. 5th ranked transfer class. Pope brings his guy Jackson Robinson over from BYU. He was their leading scorer last year, just over 14 a game. They get Lamont Butler from San Diego State. Started the last 3 years from them. Mm-hmm. The buzzer-beating game winner over FAU in the Final Four. Let's not forget about this guy. They get Otega Owe from Oklahoma, second leading scorer for the Sooners last year, 11.5 a game. They have the 47th ranked recruiting class, not a lot of big names as freshmen. They beat Wright State 103-62, and then Bucknell 100-72. So both games over 100. We know Mark Pope wants to get up and down. A lot of threes. Can they take down the Duke Blue Devils in State Farm Arena tonight?
I think we're sleeping on Kentucky. I'm looking. Okay, obviously the stats right now are absolutely ridiculous, but I'm looking at the size of Kentucky.
Mhm.
Their starting big man Amari Williams, 7 feet tall, 262 pounds, from England. Cobreezy,
Beef.
nice crumpets and
Oh.
tea. They got another guy. 250 pounds, 6'10. Andrew Carr, 6'11.
Mhm.
A lot of guys here that are 6'5 and up. They're big. These guys
Yeah.
are big. Should we go over some real quick stats so far, Cobras? The Kentucky's averaging over 100 points a game, 49 rebounds, 26 assists, 10 steals, 5 blocks, and shooting 53.5% from the field. Great start. I know they're playing we keep saying cupcakes. Okay, they're playing queefs. Okay, no doubt about it. But I think we're slipping on Kentucky. I ranked 19th. I don't know.
We are too.
Mm-hmm.
Who you taking in this game? You going to put your balls on the table and take them then?
I'm going Duke. Okay, I am gonna go Duke. Okay, and I got Duke going to the Final Four. How the hell am I gonna go Kentucky tonight?
You do.
I think this gives Kentucky a little lets them be a little modest, a little more humble from these two games that they're just blowing out. So they're gonna learn a little bit more from this. But I think Kentucky they're gonna be there, guys. They're gonna be there. They're huge.
Keep your eyes on Maluwatch tonight for Duke. I want to see what he can do. Definitely a long athlete. And Max, I was on the fence on this game. I think you convinced me. I think you've convinced me to go Mark Pope and the Wildcats.
I like
here.
it.
Duke, we're starting 3 freshmen, a sophomore and a junior, and we're talking about all these big bodies, all these transfers,
Huge.
4th and 5th year guys,
Gosh.
3rd, 4th, and 5th year guys. I think they might go in here and punk Duke. Bang them up on the boards, get them in foul trouble, and a lot of freshmen for Duke, as always.
Yeah,
Kentucky. That's not going to be the way anymore for Kentucky, for Big Blue Nation, not getting all these recruiting classes anymore.
They want to win, man. They want to win.
It's going to be older guys. I got Kentucky in this one, Max. A little
nice.
upset.
I like it.
Here.
I like it. Heck yeah. Sweet.
Max, that's going to do us today for the Don't Tell Mama Sports podcast. I can't wait for this Champions Classic tonight. Definitely got to have it on ESPN. Anything you got for me before we get out of here, brother?
Well, this is the one reason why it's good to be sick, because it gives you a reason to stay in bed. You better believe these games are going to be on while I'm resting. Oh my gosh. I wish it was earlier. I wish they were earlier, because I'm going to be, anticipating it the entire night. But hey, thank you everyone for coming out to the Don't Tell Mama Sports podcast this morning, going into the afternoon. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate you so much. How do we feel about this Champions Classic coming up? How do we feel about the NFL and fantasy football with Jamar Chase and his 3-headed dog? Do we think that he's going to be the best fantasy football player in the league this year? Is he going to win that award? Leave it in the comments. We'd like to know, Cole Breezy. We'd like to know. But Cole Breezy, are you going to be wearing that hat and that shirt all day long? All day long at school?
No, it's gonna come off. It's gonna come off here, but it'll probably come back on later.
Yeah. Well, wash your hair though. Wash your hair before.
Washed it last night.
Oh yeah, you seem like one of those guys that takes a couple days. I don't need to wash my hair every day.
They say it dries it out.
Yeah, it also stinks it up a bit too.